Alright, sorry if you watched round 3. It's round 4 now. Playing Blue-White Spirits with Smuggler's Copter, and we are 2-1. We lost just the worst match in the entire world to Boggles in round 3. We beat Storm, and we beat Mill. We're going to keep this hand. It does not have white mana, but it has a Mutavault, it has a Wanderer, it has Rattlechains.
It's everything we care about.
Except for white mana, which we really care about. But this hand can come together pretty easily, drawing a white source, an Aether Vial, a Supreme Phantom. Plenty of ways for this hand to be great, and it's fine as is. Another Moorland Haunt is the worst possible draw in the deck. So at least we got that out of the way now. I think the only card in the deck that just actually does not do anything. The second Moorland Haunt. Even like a 3-drop with white in the mana cost is still potentially live, but the second Moorland Haunt actually does not do a thing. Alright, Misty Rainforest into Tap Breeding Pool could be Band Spirits, could be Infect, yeah, okay. Blighted Agent, we have no interaction.
Come on, white mana.
White source. White source. Alright. We are continuing to have opponents not interact with us in any way. Just this is the fourth match in which our opponents do not interact with us in any way.
Well, this opponent might counter our spells.
Probably not. They'll probably allow the spells to be countered by game rules due to having no legal targets, like casting Blossoming Defense and Vines of Basswood. But maybe we'll see a Spell Pierce. That would be exciting if we got to see a Spell Pierce, a spell that does something to us.
I need to check something.
Do it. Check it. What are you checking?
I'm checking to see if I put a Soulful Falls into my Nicol Bolas EH deck, because I'm going to end up taking it out and using it in my standard deck.
Nice. Alright, animating Inkmoth Nexus.
Good old Nicholas Pickles.
I'm going to flash your Rattlechains to block this. Which will also pump the Wanderer and give us a chance to counter a spell. Give it self-hexproof. 2/2 Wanderer. Hexproof Rattlechains.
You're blocking their land.
Yeah.
Voice.
The mutagenic growth. Let that resolve. That is totally fine. That's mutagenic growth that did not give us poison counters. If we get a white source, then Moorland Haunt would be awesome. Moorland Haunt is really good against Infect. Did not get a white source. Got another Phantasmal Image. God! Ugh! What's the most efficient thing? Probably just making a copy of Wanderer. Because we could also like animate Mutavault, copy Mutavault, but I think multiple Wanderers are going to be better, especially if we find a white source for this Moorland Haunt. Keep on attacking. They are at 13 life. We made them burn a pump spell to keep a creature.
Oh, there's
Playing Destiny and drinking a beer to unwind. Sounds great. You still enjoying the Forsaken DLC?
Oh, that's the newest one?
Yeah.
You mentioned you were thinking about getting that?
Not. I wouldn't take it that far. I was interested in looking into it. I heard it was kind of cool. Pendlehaven's really good. We can't interact with Pendlehaven.
Sweet. Okay.
2/3 Blighted Agent coming at us.
Alright. Pretty sure that I have all the mana that I need for a Grixis standard deck.
That's awesome. Good feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 poison counters is not a big deal. White mana, finally. Probably just path this. Blighted Agent. Whoops. Deserve that. I deserve that. Oh well. Whatever. We are going to make another Mausoleum Wanderer. It's the first time I've ever done that. I accidentally hit 4 instead of 3. I knew it was going to happen someday.
Yeah.
Finally happened.
Here it is.
Yep, finally happened. Just gotta hope that we can hit them for 4 this turn, and then we have enough counters with our Wanderers to prevent lethal damage, and then we draw a Lord and kill them. Go ahead and say we were in great shape if I paid 2 life to have that Hallowed Fountain enter untapped, and without the Hallowed Fountain, we are in trouble. The DLC is the nuts. They fixed all the major issues with the game and added a stupid amount of content. That exciting.
Sounds pretty sweet.
It's exciting.
I haven't played Destiny 2 since it first came out, really.
Yeah. The initial story playthrough was super fun, and then the end game content was just totally a waste of time.
It was...
It just was so repetitive. You couldn't stay with it. I think that's on to both of us, right?
Yeah, it just wasn't interesting to keep playing through.
Yeah. Right, it didn't have the staying power at all that Destiny 1 did. And even Destiny 1 ran out of steam, and then they made the Taken King, and it was awesome. I have heard people say that that the
no! They misclicked also.
They misclicked. Yeah, I accidentally failed to shock in my Hallowed Fountain. Rip both of us. Yeah, I heard that the Forsaken. Some people have been calling the Forsaken the Destiny 2 version of the Taken King, and that is like the DLC that really brings the game to life. Only took 2 years or whatever.
I think I won't ever like the PvE long game aspect of any of the Destiny games. It's like the PvP needs to be interesting enough to have the staying power. I just didn't like Destiny 2 PvP.
Yeah, I didn't like the PvP in Destiny 2 either. Loved it in Destiny 1. It was crazy. Alright, well, I just taught our opponent how to check for a newly controlled creature land. It is very annoying to have that happen. They animated their wrong Inkmoth Nexus. Well, this is just sort of a I'll say, I always do it with multiple Mutavaults. So, our opponent hopefully learned something. This was sort of a non-turn for both of us, I guess. Since we failed to produce white mana, and then they stone rained themselves by animating the wrong Inkmoth Nexus.
So they have some blockers with those lands, right?
They have 1 blocker.
But it's a 2/2. Like they,
Yeah.
that's the one that they can pump another.
No, Blink Moth pumps, not Ink Moth.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm gonna do is play Supreme Phantom, animate Mutavault, and swing holding up Path. I think we would have been fine in this game if I had shocked in the Hallowed Fountain, so that was sort of a trade-off of misclicks. Magic Online is a silly place sometimes. So we're attacking with 4 3/3s. They have to block 2 in order to not die. Okay, GG. That was a silly game. Yeah, if we had shocked in the white mana, we could have pathed the Blighted Agent, and then the following turn done exactly what we just did, so I think it would have been a wash either way.
Looking forward to like blocking.
Having creatures interact in combat or a spell interact with an opponent's creature. Okay, yeah, me too. That would have been nice. So Echoing Truth is pretty good. It can bounce a Blighted Agent. It can't bounce an Inkmoth Nexus, but Field of Ruin can destroy one. Negate is awesome against Infect. Geist is a fast clock, so it can be good, but I don't know if that's going to come in. Unified Will is iffy. I think I'm probably not going to bring in Unified Will. They don't play that many creatures, but they mulligan to those creatures. Right. So against Infect, we really are looking out specifically for Blighted Agent. As you could see that game, it's really easy for this deck to block Inkmoth Nexus, and obviously it's easy to block Blighted, or whatever it's called. What's the 1/1 called? The elf? Glistener Elf. So really we're looking out for Blighted Agent. We want to save our removal and our counter magic for specifically Blighted Agents. Not even for the pump spells, but the Blighted Agent itself. Remorseful Cleric has to come out, doesn't do anything. Smuggler's Copter can come out. A Selfless Spirit. Selfless Spirit doesn't do anything at all against Infect, because it doesn't even protect your creatures, because
they take the damage.
They take damage as -1/-1 counters, and they die due to having 0 toughness. Yeah, so I was gonna bring the Smuggler's Copter back in and cut the Selfless, and then cut like a basic Plains, since we're starting out all white cards, for the Field of Ruin.
Right.
Cool.
You're gonna struggle to find mana for that.
Probably. This is a borderline hand, actually.
Yeah, you could just like path their.
I think I'm gonna keep this hand.
Infector.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this hand.
See how far they mulligan.
Yeah, if they go to like 5, then I was actually gonna say then I'm gonna look for a better 6.
Oh.
But because this hand is good. If our opponent mulligans really badly, we could look for a better hand. This isn't an awesome hand, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Because we have the fetch land, we can play Wander on 1, we can path on 2 if we don't find a land, or we can play Copter on 2 if we do find a land. And then we can start looting and holding up Wander plus Negate. I think it's a really good spot to be.
How have you liked Smuggler's Copter?
It's died pretty much instantly every time. Ooh, Field of Ruin's really good. It's only ever like connected for damage once. It's only looted twice, so it's really hard to say. Opponents seem to be valuing it very highly. It eats removal constantly. But that's sort of like second-hand evaluation. So
it does hit hard. It does hit pretty hard.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of creatures, almost every creature in our deck hits for 3 damage on turn 3. So something to consider is like how much damage isn't going in if you're attacking with Smuggler's Copter. If you're animating with something other than... Oh god, they did it again! That's their fault this time. I told them, you gotta right click. Well, that's very sad. That just happened to our opponent, but I think they probably screwed up themselves. One-man hand is good only sometimes. True Flight. This one had 2 pieces of 1-mana interaction that could last us for several turns if necessary.
And we're getting reward.
Yep, we hit our lands. We didn't need to, but we did. I think it's fine to play out Smuggler's Copter this turn. Well, yeah, I'm not afraid of. They have no green mana so far, so I'm gonna play out Plain or Island. I'm gonna play Smuggler's Copter. I'm gonna attack for 1. Actually, maybe we hold it back and block. I like that better.
Yeah.
True Flight, I almost never keep a 1-land non-vial hand. I usually keep 1-land vial hands.
It's just specifically against Infect.
This had 2 critical pieces of 1-mana interaction against Infect, and great 2-mana if we ever hit our second land. So, and it was a dual land. So,
because sometimes they play out their Infector and then you just remove it,
and it was the only one they had.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Shocking game, huh?
For a non-infect creature. I guess it was a good turn to not attack us since we held back on the Copter.
Wow, so I like just keeping up the Spell Queller for their Infector.
Well, they have 2 Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah.
So they probably won't cast. But we have a Field of Ruin. They can't redirect Field of Ruin to Spellskite. Field of Ruin can get us a Plains, then we can Path. I think this is a fine turn to...
I think just Copter.
Copter, Crew, attack.
I'd pitch this Drogskol or the Echoing Truth.
Yeah, I think the Echoing Truth in this case.
Obviously, depending on what we draw.
Alright, we'll get on in for 3.
Dude, Mausoleum Wanderer is like a man of many hats.
Mausoleum Wanderer is just a... it's a version of an already very playable card that's better than that card in 3 different ways. Like, it's just Curse Catcher, but also has flying, also gets bigger, and also counters for more.
Right, and
like,
has his pilot's license. Like...
It's just insane how efficient Mausoleum Wanderer is.
Mausoleum Wanderer, you already fly.
Yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't scoot. We'll discard the Drogskol Captain.
Yeah.
Like, since we now have the Moorland Haunt, we get extra value out of discarding it, so that's pretty nice. So again, the plan here is to Field of Ruin one of the Inkmoth Nexuses. Maybe. Or we just path the Spellskite and negate one of their pump spells. Or we Spell Queller. We got all these options. Groundswell for the 4. Oh, just animating both. Gotta go for it, I guess, when I got the Field of Ruin, huh?
And he can't redirect with Spellskite, right? Because
can't redirect the Field of Ruin.
Right.
Can redirect the path that maybe goes at the second one, which I probably am gonna do because then they have no Infectors.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that Echoing Truth can't bounce lands. That's a small piece of Echoing Truth that comes up sort of specifically against Infect, but it hits everything else. So
I think you just take the 2,
right? We definitely wait to see if they pump.
Yeah,
for sure. Cool.
How do you feel about just end a turn frying one of those?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, probably not. I'm probably going to path the Spellskite in a turn. I guess path one of these and make
Okay.
them redirect to the Spellskite.
And then you, yeah, okay. Blossom Defense.
Probably just want to pay 2. Oh, weird. What are you doing?
So, do you negate?
Apostle's Blessing.
I guess this doesn't even really matter because you can still feel the ruin. And now you can Echoing Truth the Sky.
This is fine. Yeah, I am gonna Echoing Truth the Spellskite because I'm not doing anything else this turn. I'm not gonna counter this. So we just traded the path for the Apostle's Blessing, which is fine. Now we bounce this. So that's why I didn't want to Field of Ruin while they were creatures, because they can give it protection and then we just Stone Rain ourselves. They can't protect it as a land. So Field of Ruin on our turn is safer. Because if they animate it...
Well, Apostle's Blessing gives protection from a color or artifact, right?
Right, Apostle's Blessing specifically.
Right.
But Vines of Vastwood and Blossoming Defense would have protected it. So that's why I preferred to cast a spell that targeted a creature instead of risking getting Stone Rained. So here I think... Just crew first. Yeah, sure. Well, I like all 3 of these cards. So I guess we just won't loot.
You can just loot and discard whatever you draw.
Well, what if I like what I draw too?
Well, you gotta make a choice.
But then if I just drew it next turn, I would have it in my hand. I think if you like every card in your hand, you shouldn't loot.
I think you should always loot. Because we have Moorland Haunt.
Yeah, it's true. I'm actually gonna not...
You get more information anyways.
Yeah, I guess. I sort of like not attacking though. They're at 9, but...
Oh, you want to block?
One more turn to block, like cast Negate, cast Path.
Up to you. I'll be right back.
I think I'm going to Field of Ruin one of the lands and then hold up Negate on their turn.
Sure.
If we can end up blocking Inkmoth Nexus with Smuggler's Copter, that would be awesome. Even with a Mutagenic Growth or a Blossoming Defense, it still dies. They would have to have a +3 or +4 pump spell. Alright, they animate their Nexus. They attack. Oh, right, they have the Exalted, so a Mutagenic Growth does save it, but we're still going to block. Unless they have another Apostle's Blessing. They do not, so we will block. We will loot, because Jake wants us to. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Mutagenic growth. Paying mana. Alright, we're going to negate the mutagenic growth. Keeping our Wanderer alive to see another day. Now we don't really need the path anymore. We will loot. Wanderer is amazing. Discard the path. Because we can quell a Blighted Agent now. Kill that thing. Still have a 1/1 Copter. Oh yeah. That's what we want. Oh, there's Rattlechains too. Play this. Pump that. Crew this. Swing for 3. Loot again. Maybe discard Rattlechains. Maybe discard the random card. Oh, well, that makes it easy. Discard one of the 2 Rattlechains. Now, if they play a Blighted Agent, we will Spell Queller. Otherwise, we will make a Moorland Haunt token. Alright, cool. That's game. This Infect usually is grindy for you. I generally tend to put up too fast a clock unless they have the nuts. I just choose not to really pressure it, True Flight. If they don't have Blighted Agent, then we are just really favored. So I like to take my time on Infect, chip away a little bit. They tend to pay life really aggressively. I mean, this game we saw them fetch Shock and cast Apostle's Blessing. A lot of times they're casting Dismember or Mutagenic Growth, paying additional life. And you can sort of let them whittle themselves down, and you get into a point where you have a chance to sort of shut the door all in one turn. It changes completely if they sneak a Blighted Agent under your nose. If that's the case, then you just have to race the Blighted Agent and try to have small pieces of interaction to get them to stumble. You sort of go to a full tempo game. But otherwise, we're just so good at blocking their creatures and interacting with their pub spells that we're definitely the control in this matchup. And so you do sort of want to let it chip away rather than just trying to race all at once. Because if you race all at once, you put your shields down and they can kill you out of nowhere. But if you take it a little bit more slowly, you have your removal, you have your bounce spells, you have your counter spells, then they will not get through that without a Blighted Agent. Mr. Ark, when did you leave? What was going on when you left? What match were we in? What deck were we playing against?
Welcome back.
My answer to your question depends heavily on when you left. You just saw the boggles. Yeah, we did not do so well in that match. We had a shaky game 1, and we were, if I remember correctly, were we constrained on mana? I'm not sure exactly what happened in game 1. Oh, we drew 3 Path to Exiles. That's what happened in game 1.
Oh,
in game Boggles, in game 1 against Boggles, we drew 3 Paths, and so we tried our best, but we just had a mulligan to 4 basically because we had 3 Path to Exiles in our hand. And then in game 2, we literally mulliganed to 4 and had a 0 land 4-card hand of Fragmentize, Smuggler's Copter, Aether Vial, Rattlechains, and we conceded on turn 3. It was not a very exciting game.